beautiful morning, guys. Welcome back to Tom's Garage. Today, man, I'm busy in the shop. Today we are going to do a drive belt on a Troy-Bilt. Troy-Bilt. There's the hood for it over there. Let me show you the hood because you got to get the model. It is a Troy-Bilt TB 42. And you absolutely have to use an OE belt. You can't just go to Home Depot or Lowe's and get an aftermarket belt. A lot of tractors you can get them for $20 or $30, but this particular tractor you absolutely have to use OEM belt. 9540467A. An aftermarket belt is not going to have the same shape. The pitch of the V may be a little different. It may be the same length, same width, but the thickness is going to be different. This belt, let me see if I can hold it up here and I'll show you. The thickness this way is going to be a little bit thinner than what you can get in an OEM. He put a aftermarket belt on here, and this thing it just makes them act crazy. It just makes them act crazy because you got to have the right OEM belt. This belt was about $60, so I am going to set this camera up, guys. The first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and pull the battery out of it, okay? And I'm going to pull this body off. It's a whole lot easier if you pull this body off. All you have is money. Okay, let's see. To pull the body off, you have to pull these little rubber knobs off. This one, that they just twist and just pull them right off. That's a deck height adjustment, blade engagement, and then you got your transmission shifter. Pull those little handles off, take the battery out, and then take the little trays out that holds the battery. Those little things just kind of sit down in there. Rock them to the side and just kind of bend them out of the way. And you have got you got to take a razor blade and you've got to cut this sticker so you can expose that 10mm head. You've got one here and you've got one here. All you got to do is just fill around. I've already cut these. And I will show you what this is. Don't try to do this without taking this body off because there's a washer under here and you will never get it back on. And then you don't have to take the seat. You don't have to take none of this off. What I'll do is just stuff these wires down in there. You have to unhook these wires, go into the seat switch, stuff them down in there like that. You've got 13mm bolt there is self-threading. There's no nut on the back of that. There's one there. And you've got two more. You've got two more on this side, there and there. This plate is bolted to the body, which the seat is bolted to the plate through the body. So all that will come off as one. Let's get this engagement cable. I had it hooked on there. And under here, you've got an 11mm nut. And it's a carriage bolt. You just pull back the floor mat. And I'm gonna set the camera down. I'm gonna have to work fast because I got a lot to do. All right, let's see how fast I can do this. Shut up, doggies. This is my 10 and 11, half inch or 13mm. And let's see, I'm gonna reach under here. There's one. Let it fall. And let it fall. Now where'd they go? There's one. Where'd the other one go? Well, if I had both my hands, I wouldn't let them fall, but anyway, you get the idea. Okay, let's go around to this side. take these out here. Let that fall. Let that fall. And where'd they go? Right there. Right there. And there's the other one I couldn't find. And here's the knobs. I'll just pull the, you just twist and just pull the handles and knobs off. And let's see, we've already got the deck removed. And what did I do with my impact wrench? There it is. Okay. Am I making y'all dizzy yet? Take the 11mm. Pull back the mount. I like to put my finger on top of that carriage bolt just to hold it down. Do your nut and your washer. And I'll do the same thing on this side. Same thing on this side. Right there. You really don't even have to pull the mat back. Just put a little pressure on top of that mat to hold that carriage bolt down. And okay, put that there. Now, one thing you got to remember when you take this thing off is there's a little spring, and that spring just holds the tension back. So what you want to do, I don't know how well you can see that. You just want to pull that spring off, and that spring will hook around this little bracket right back there. Don't lose that spring, otherwise your handle will be floppy. Okay, we got those 4 bolts out, those 2. Let me grab my 10mm. Grab the 10mm, and we'll take these 2 out. Pull that back a little bit without tearing it. Let's see, let me set this camera down so you can watch. Take that one out. Pull that back. Take that one out. Okay, we are ready to pull this body off. I'm gonna set the camera over here and let you watch how it just pulls off. Put the table down a little bit. Now when you do this, all the little levers are just gonna fall everywhere, so there we go. All right, and when you put the body back on, you'll have to take and physically move these and guide these back in the little holes they go in. And here is the drive belt. The customer already installed one, an aftermarket belt he probably got from Lowe's or Home Depot. I think he said Lowe's. So let me raise it back up here. All right, I'm going to start at the engine and show you the belt goes around. The pulley up here has got these keepers. And as you're going back from the engine towards the transmission, you've got these series of pulleys right here. This one is your clutch. And on the other side, you've got your engagement, which you can see how it's just, the belt is just way too tight for this thing. It's just, you have no travel. So you can see as the belt comes back, you can see how it's routed. It's got to go in here and then it comes around it. Then it goes on the other side of this one. Both of these are flat pulleys, which will throw you off because even the V side of the belt rides on the flat pulley. And then over to the transmission. It goes under that vari-drive pulley. It's just like a CVT in a new car transmission. And this will move as you push the pedal, and it's not letting it move at all. Yeah. This will slide up and down and change the gear ratio. And then this will operate the transmission pulley. Okay, and I'm gonna let you watch how I take this thing apart. See, with the body off, you've got this washer. Now the customer lost this washer because he didn't know it was there, and it will just slide. He found it on the ground. I had to call him and ask him if he had it. That is a lock nut, 14 millimeter or a 9/16, and that's the bolt head for it. Now this pulley, this 14 millimeter, this bolt will thread into the bracket above that. It doesn't go through the floorboard. So what I will do is I will grab a little piece of 2x4 and I will push down this engagement cable. Well, that ain't gonna let me do that either. The belt's too tight. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab me a couple of wrenches, and when I take these bolts out, parts are gonna go absolutely everywhere. Don't let it scare you, because I'm gonna show you how to put it back together. All right, I'm gonna grab, well, first thing I need to do is take this clip out of this brake lever. Oh, stand up for me, Mr. Camera. Okay, let me grab me a, well, I may not have to have a pair of needly nose. I may be able to get my finger in there. Yep, there it is. That little clip, and this lever will just fall out of the way. All right, now I'm going to take that apart if this tripod will cooperate. Well. All right, there's your nut and your washer from the top. And you've got all kinds of parts. And I will show you what all comes out of here. All right, you've got this bolt, you've got this spacer, which this is going to be on the bottom side, and it's going to fit right in there. And then this will go on top of this bracket. And you've got a long side and you've got a short side. This will go down. And then on top of this, you've got a nut they use for a spacer. It's not used for anything but a spacer. It's going to go right on top of that. And then this will go on top of that nut. And it'll go through the top of the bracket like that. It'll go just like that, with the bracket being on here, and then the bottom bracket will be here. So, don't let it intimidate you, because it can. This is probably one of the most difficult mowers I've ever had to replace the belts on. And it is a booger. I got to go over here and take this belt guide off the crankshaft pulley. You can just take it and move that with your hand like that. And we're going to have to pull this crankshaft pulley off. And that's going to be a 5/16 or a 5/8 bolt. You don't have to take it all the way off, just let it fall if you can get the, well, I'm gonna have to hit that with the impact. Let's send this thing for a ride. I'm just gonna take and hook the frame of this thing somewhere. I'll let the table down. And I'm gonna okay. Now let me grab my 5/8. See if this impact here will be powerful enough to take that bolt out. Nope, let me grab the air. Close your ears. See if I can get it loose back here off the. Whew, this thing is not cooperating at all. Oh, let's see what I'll do. Just grab my chunk of wood. I'll just put that chunk of wood right there. That will take the tension off the belt. Hopefully. So I can get it off the crankshaft pulley. Still isn't going to want to cooperate. I'm going to have to take it further apart. Come on, baby. Come off of there. And let's see. This thing ain't cooperating. There you go. Now, it's got to go up there, pull that boy out, pull it out of there. I swear you got to be a contortionist, man, working on this stuff. Now we're going to have to take this belt off, and that can be a booger because you've got to get the tension off of this one. And what I'll do is come right over here. And let's see, let me set the camera down somewhere. Go around this way. Find me a good place to. I could just grab that nut, but you'll end up unscrewing it. I don't want to do that. Let's see. If I can remember which way to pry it. And we'll just get it off the pulley back there. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, he'll just do it by hand. There we go. There we go. Now we'll try to get this belt off of that bear drive pulley. Get that out of the way. You'll have to take this pulley off to get the belt off of it because the clearance against the frame, it actually uses the frame to keep the belt from coming off. And they put this bar, support bar, that raises and lowers the deck right across here. It's hard to get a socket on there, but and we'll just work this thing here off. Yeah, pretty close tolerances. Come out of there. Well, there we go. There's the old one. It's too scuffed up and everything to take it back. Yeah, he had it on those two pulleys I showed you. He had it on backwards also, and that didn't help. And it's so easy to do. So easy to do. Whew, I'm gonna hit pause and I'm gonna go get me something to drink. All right, now I'm gonna put the other belt on. I'm actually got a slide under here. And then I'm gonna put the pulley back on. It's got a keyway in it. And you gotta find that just perfect. That slides up in there like that. Make sure it's inside of those, what I like to call belt fingers. It's got to be inside the framework. And that's what keeps it from coming off. And then it's got to be inside those two belt fingers. Let me get the bolt in it. I'm going to thread this up as far as I can because I don't want that pulley to slide. I got lucky there. This pulley come right off. Sometimes you have to get a puller, and it depends on how old the tractor is. Okay. Now we have to get it above that. Make sure the belt's not twisted anywhere. Trains and dogs. No peace around here. Let's see, I want to get it. I may have to take this pulley up. Nope, it'll go right in there. That's good. Okay, that one will go there. This one will go this way. Now, I'm going to try to get it all back together. And it's got to go through the floorboard over there. Make sure it's easier to take this spring right here off. Don't forget where that hook's to over there. Yep. So that's got to go. Tell you what, let me go ahead and get it around the pulley back there. That's got to go over that. Now I got to get up. Oh, can't get up. Whew. All right. Let me see if I can set this camera down somewhere. It won't fall. Now I'm going to get all this back together. Let's see, that's got to go down there. See how this slides? It's got to go to the bottom of that. And it could be a pain to get it to go down. Come on, baby, go down. Easy on the belt, boy. There's another belt finger under there you gotta watch out for. There we go. Okay. There's a belt guide right there. Make sure you're inside of that belt guide. There's one in the back. Okay. It's on there just so perfect. Now I'm gonna get this other belt back on. Battery cable out of the way. You can see where they mount the solenoids on the inside of this bodywork. Boy, those are a pain to get to. Okay. Now we got to get this thing. Let me set the camera down. Whew. You just got to manhandle it. Okay. Everything is on correctly. It's already 80 degrees in the shop and I am starting to sweat. It'll be the first day of the year I have to wear my sweatband. Okay, let's see. I want to do this actually from the other left side of the tractor. Get some of this stuff out of the way. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and raise this table back up because I cannot get on the ground. Take my big Captain hook off that thing. Hook it right up there where I keep it. Roll it back a little bit. This is where it gets fun. This is where it gets fun. What I'm gonna do is grab my knee pad. Because with the table all the way up, it's easy for me just to get on my knees here and I can work pretty good. I can reach everything just right. Okay, let me get some of this out of the way. I've got my washer and nut ready, and there's 2 holes in this. And you can see that this was the hole that was used for that stud that comes through. And you can see the imprint where the washer was. So, now it's time to get all that back together. All right, I got my 9/16 ready to go. I'm gonna use my impact on that. Okay, all this is ready to go. Okay, there's the pulley. It's gonna go in there like that. Now make sure you've got the belt on it, because this is where it gets tricky. You've got to get the belt on this side of that pulley. Get back here. There goes my impact. Okay. If you don't loosen that, these will stay lined up. If you loosen that, then they're going to be flopping all over the place. Now I've got to get this nut on top of that pulley. And then this has got to go like that on top of the nut. Kind of hold it with your finger. Whew. Oh, this is rough.
This is rough. Everybody needs a good morning ass whooping doing this. I'm sure there's a million different ways you can do this. Yep, I'm gonna have to loosen that. No big deal. I usually do loosen that, but I wanted to try to avoid that. Oh, not all the way. Okay. Now you can probably see and understand better how this needs to go. So it's gonna go just like that. That's gonna go in there just like that. That will go on top of that. Don't lose the nut. Now that has got to go that way. And all this, don't forget the belt. Okay. Everything, nope, that's not seated. There it is. It's seated. Now we have to, now this is going to have to, ooh. Now we got to figure out a way to get that thing to pull back. Let me take that pedal off over there to get rid of that block of wood. See if that helps us. No, that's actually going to hurt us. Ooh, I wouldn't wish this job on nobody. Wouldn't wish it on nobody. Yep, just lost that. You got to keep working at it, man. You got to get it. Line it up with that. Make sure the belt is on. Okay. Now this thing has got to come way back. Well, it ain't letting me do it. There it goes. Come on back. Come on back, baby. All right, I got it in there, but make sure everything is seated. All right, let me get the nut on there. Okay, what did I just lose? Oh, that bolt came out. Ooh, what a job, what a job. Get back in there. And this will thread into the bracket above it. Let me get my eyeball in there. Just make sure I'm getting close to the hole. Let's see, what do we got? That's why I didn't want that belt to come all the way out. But it did. And now I gotta pay the price. And this is why you take the body off. Makes it so much easier to get to. Make sure that threads into the hole it's supposed to go in. All right, let's take a quick gander. All right, this belt comes all the way back to the transmission. It's inside the belt fingers. This one goes on the outside of that belt finger. This one goes on the inside of that belt finger. Whew, my goodness. Now we can hook up the clutch brake lever. Right there. Put the little clip back in it. Clip back in there. There we go. Woo! Stay in school. Now let's check the operation. I haven't tightened anything down yet. I just want to make sure everything is working as it should. See, with the proper belt on there, everything seems to be working like it should. All right, now let me make double sure. This has got to come up so far. That way, you know, all those little doohickeys are seated in the holes properly. What I like to do is just take my eyeball and look. Make sure, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Everything is seated. Give it a wiggle, wiggle. All right, now we'll hit it, tighten it down. What do I do with my wrench? Woo. Let's see. Yeah, right there. Where's the other one at? Yep. It's loose. Back there. It's nice and good. Okay, everything is. If these weren't seated, this thing would just jam up and wouldn't move at all. All right. Now, all this is functioning like it should. Whew, I got all this I need to do today. That's going to be a camshaft job coming up, maybe tomorrow. Another camshaft bites the dust. Let's see, I need that big spring. And I need to pull it over there. Okay, that's functioning. That's functioning. Okay, guys, I think we whooped it. I believe we whooped it. I do. I think we got it. Okay, the crankshaft pulley's tight, everything's tight. I don't know what all those fellas took apart or loosened when they done this job, but I did find a couple other things that weren't tightened down. But everything looks good. I'm gonna set the camera up and probably fast frame it, putting this thing back together. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Find a good place to set the camera. I believe you can see that. All right, everything's good. Put that inside. I think I'll set you over here on top of the Troy-Bilt. Troy-Bilt. Yeah. This one's got that power more engine I'm so fond of. Ugh. Gotta work full time for yourself. You love it. It'll be great. lots of money. Now make sure these brackets go on the outside of that bodywork. Make sure these bolts go back inside the bracket under the floorboard. Under the floorboard. There we go. Under the floorboard. While you gently massage this thing back in place. Just get that bolt out of the way there. Whew. This is too much left work. Make sure everything, oh, that went back inside. There we go. Just like that. And it's going to go through there like that. Put that washer nut on there. Looks like those are lined up pretty good. With a 2 10mm head, bolt, screws, bolts, whatever they are. They're so small, I would consider that a screw. All right, put this other button washer on the other side. Ooh, I'm gonna need a nap after this. Nap after this. And before I forget, don't forget the little spring we took off the gear selector lever. It's got to go up there, back around there. Take your safety switch seat wires and fish them back up through here, a little hole, plug them back in. It don't matter how they go. It don't matter what terminal you put them on. Gotta find them. Where'd they go? That one hooks there. That one hooks there. Now, take these 13mm headed bolts, or 14mm headed bolts, and just get them started. See, they're self-threading, little pointy thing. Just get everything started. Get it started. Come on, get it started. I just hope that customer didn't have dogs, man. I got my beard and mouth all over them back tires. Yeah, that's a 1/2 inch. It's not a, what did I do with it? Yeah, those are 1/2 inch bolts. Yeah, there it is. There's that one. Oh, what did I do? What did I do? My little detector. Grab another one. Get it started. Whew. All right, now we'll grab the 10mm and the 11mm. give me my socket back. I'm glad these GoPros are tough. All right. Now we'll swap 10 millimeter. Tighten these two down a little bit. And a little bit. I'll just take and push that plastic back in there a little bit. Yeah. Okay, now we'll put the knobs back on there. Well, I'm gonna test this thing before I do that. Before I get too into it here. Let me lower this thing down, put the battery back in it. Let's see, let me set this somewhere. Set this thing somewhere. There we go. Alright, got a little doohickey right there. A little bracket right there. I set the camera on top of what I need. Battery. All right, where my 7/16 go? Hiding it from me. And the 3/8. Hook the positive up first. I don't want to get cussed out on YouTube. Ooh, man, it's getting hot in here. I gotta get some fans on. The battery's nice and tight. One thing I will do before I do anything else, I'm going to, for safety purposes, I hear money. I hear money. That brake lever runs right against that frame rail. Don't pinch it. Oh, God.
Well, there you go, fellers. That's a drive belt job right there. And I forgot I was wearing my Big H t-shirt. That is pretty cool, guys. Thanks for watching this video. I'm gonna put this deck back on it and get this sucker out the door. And watch out, Vlad's gonna get you. Y'all be real good, fellas.